where the computer kind of turned on him. I mean, how personal does it get? How interactive does it get?
I think right now we're certainly not at the how point. I think the concern, though, that you raise is one that's being talked about a lot in AI circles. I think the idea that the computer decides it knows better than you is certainly a problematic one. I think there's also a lot of issues around privacy. That's why Microsoft today took pains to say all this work is going to be done on your PC. It's not going to be shared with Microsoft. It won't be used to train models. But I do think there's a lot of privacy concerns when it remembers everything you've ever seen.
Yeah, well, and that's, what Axios is saying. This matters because it could strengthen data privacy. It could reduce climate stressing, data owner demands. There's a lot of good with it. But we already have, for instance, computers that will tell us you're spelling that wrong, or here's a suggestion for how you might want to put that sentence together. What is AI? How would it be different?
So those were the beginnings of AI, and we tend not to talk about things as AI once we get used to them. So things like autocorrect, things like it looks like you're writing a note. I mean, those are the starts of AI. Those are the seeds of where we are today. But I do think this is significantly more powerful. I think this idea is that I no longer have to know exactly how to do what I want. I should be able to.
The 2 p.m. session of Roanoke City Council for May 20th, 2024 is hereby called to order, and I'll ask our clerk, Ms. Susan McCord, to please call the roll.
Mr. Volleson.
Here.
Ms. Moon Reynolds.
Here.
Ms. Sanchez Jones.
Here.
Mr. Pretty.
Here.
Vice Mayor Cobb.
Here.
Ms. White Boyd.
Here.
And Mayor Lee.
Here, and the quorum is present. This afternoon, I will be doing our invocation and also our Pledge of Allegiance. But I'd ask everybody to stand, and before I do the invocation, I'd like to ask everyone to be a part of a moment of silence in memory of Helen Dean, who passed away last week and served as a member of the Roanoke Arts Commission since 2021, and Helen was very active in a lot of things in our community. So if you please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. Let us pray. Eternal God, our Father, we come to you at this time, asking you for your guidance and direction as we as elected officials and appointed officials go forth to do the business of our city and valley. Lord, we thank you for this opportunity that you've given us to serve, and we ask that you continue to guide us in the way that would be pleasing in your sight. We thank you for all the things that you're doing, and we ask you to continue to bless this community, this area, and Lord, touch those who are grieving at this time, and we ask you to give them strength and courage and let them know that you still love them. And Lord, we give you praise, we give you honor, and it is in your high and holy name of Jesus we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everybody, to our May 20th council session. Council meetings are televised live and replayed on RVTV Channel 3 on Thursdays at 7 o'clock p.m. and Saturdays at 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and video streamed through Facebook Live at facebook.com/RoanokeVA. Council meetings are offered with closed captioning for the deaf or hard of hearing. Announcements for the city of Roanoke. The council is always seeking applications for various vacancies on council-appointed authorities, boards, commissions, and committees. You can access the city's website at www.roanokeva.gov to complete an online application. And this council always encourages our citizens who want to be a part of boards and commissions as we govern the city. We do a lot of very important things here, and we want you involved in that. So all you need to do is fill out an application. The process is very simple. You can do it online, or you can call our clerk, and they will walk you through applications. And you got a list of various vacancies on boards and commissions. So we welcome you and encourage you to step forward and join us as we govern this 7-time All-American city. All right. A public hearing will be held today at 7 o'clock, this evening at 7 o'clock, or soon thereafter, as the matter may be heard to receive citizens' comments on the candidates to serve as Roanoke City School Board trustees. The candidates are Michael L. Cherry II, Carrie Garnett, David Howell, Ali Quintana, and Deetra Trigg. and that's this afternoon or evening at 7 o'clock. Citizens who want to comment on any of those applicants, please come. Now, at that time, we're just going to take comments on those applicants, those school board applicants. There'll be other times that people have other issues they want to discuss, but that's tonight, this evening at 7 o'clock, for those of you here and those of you that are listening and watching on RVTV tonight at 7 o'clock. Please come in, and if you have any comments on any of these applicants for school board trustees. All right, item number 2 is presentations and acknowledgement. There's a proclamation that we have declaring the week of May 19th to the 25th, 2024 as National Public Works Week. And I'm going to ask Councilwoman Twitchwright Boyd to go down to the podium, and I'm going to ask Mr. Ross Campbell to meet her at the podium as she will read the podium.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I am really, truly grateful for the opportunity to present this proclamation to our public works professionals. The entire department worked through COVID when a lot of us were remote or at home. These guys were, ladies and gents, were still working. And, you know, whether it's storming, raining, freezing cold, they are still working. And so I am truly grateful, and I'm sure every member of our community are truly grateful for your service and what you guys do for us. We're truly appreciative of that, so I'm really glad that the mayor gave me the opportunity to read this proclamation. So, whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, fleet equipment, solid waste, and services that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of the city of Roanoke. Whereas these services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals who are the engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector, who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our residents. Whereas it is in the public interest for the residents, civic and business leaders, and youth in the city of Roanoke to gain knowledge and maintain ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in their respective communities. And whereas the year 2024 marks the 64th annual National Public Works Week, sponsored by the American Public Works Association with the theme of Advancing the Quality of Life for All. Now, therefore, I, Trish White Boyd, on behalf of our mayor, Sherman P. Lee Sr. of the city of Roanoke, Virginia, urge all residents to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, operators, and employees, and to recognize the substantial contributions that they make to protecting our national health, safety, and the quality of life, and do hereby proclaim May 19 through 25, throughout this great 7-time All-America city as National Public Works Week. Can we give them a round of applause?
Thank you, Councilwoman Boyd. Rather than making a prolonged speech, I have invited a few of my colleagues, along with my good friend and mentor, Mr. Jeffrey Powell, and with the mayors and the council's indulgence, I'd like them all to come forward and say who they are and what they do to make this great 7-time All-American city the wonderful place that we all love to live, to work, and to play. It's such a wonderful treat to be here with them and to be highlighted their great skills and efforts. So with that.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Carla, you
I'm
taking?
Jerry Hall. I'm in Fleet Services. I am Cheyenne Sallier. I'm the project coordinator for facilities management, and we also oversee custodial services.
All right.
Christopher Blakeman, Environmental Manager.
Lucas Hale. I'm a Green Infrastructure crew member at Roanoke Stormwater.
Randall Horn. I'm a crew leader for the Green Infrastructure crew in Stormwater.
Hello, Stephen Hall, Stormwater, Street Sweeping Supervisor. I'm honored to be here.
Shay Simmons, Department of Transportation. I'm a crew leader in the sign shop.
I'm Josephus Johnson Kuroma. I'm the project manager for the Wasina Bridge and also manages the City Bridge Infrastructure Program.
Wasina Bridge.
Hi, I'm Nicole Gibson, the risk manager.
Good afternoon. I'm Cynthia Tanks, risk specialist.
Robert Stover was Solid Waste Supervisor.
Hello, Melissa Reed, Solid Waste Supervisor.
Great. Let me ask council if they got anything, Madam. What, board, any comments? Yes, sir.
I just want to say thank you. I mean, the infrastructure of our city is so important. It's what makes our economy run. It makes our families able to have healthy lives. And what you guys do is invaluable. So thank you very much for what you do. And I'm glad we're able to recognize y'all this week.
Ms. Moon,
I just want to also just congratulate you all, and it was something that the Councilmember White Board said, which was essential and substantial services. And I think that's more important that is being recognized here today, because it is those services that you all do that the public don't see. They just hear about, and then they may ask about something that is going on in, let's say, stormwater, but you are not out in the front per se, you're more outside doing the work. And I just want to congratulate you all, because sometimes we just complain about it, but we want to let you know up here from the council side that we do appreciate all that you do. Thank you.
And I know Carol wants to get a photo, and we might want to just step over the rope that maybe we can line up here. And all of you guys, with Public Works, if you want to come up, we can all get in the picture. She's good. We'll figure it out.
While they get on the picture, Mayor?
Yeah, Mayor, you go. Y'all want to stand up or something?
Yeah, we'll stand up. We'll be here. You have a comment? Okay, you can do it. Let us get in, let him get down here.
Okay.
Two shadows back there. I want just hold it. You guys can fill in on the side.
I'm going to come back for a few more.
Before you all leave, Councilwoman Sanchez Jones has a comment she wants to make.
Do the picture first.
All right, we'll get the picture first. All right. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Thank you all.
All right, hold up, everybody. Hold up, everybody.
I just want to thank you for all the hard work you do, and I know I had gotten a chance to get to know some of you and spend time with you, so I'm very grateful for the work you do and the quality of your work. So thank you.
And remember, y'all can see yourselves on WRVTV a couple times. You watch TV all day Saturday, you'll see it.
Go back and watch it. Thank you. Thank you.
The ones I want to see. That's right. I will.
Thank you, Mr. Powell. Thank you, Mayor, for the
Thank you.
opportunity.
Thank you.
Yeah. When do I read this?
All right, we have another proclamation declaring May 24th, the month as ALS Awareness Month, and Mary Carey, is she here? Okay, are you here? I'm sorry, Mark. Okay. To join Councilmember Sanchez Jones. Good to see you, Mark.
Good to see you.
Good afternoon. It is an honor for me to be here to bring awareness to ALS. And I'm going to read the proclamation. Whereas amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, known by many as Lou Gehrig's disease, is a progressive, fatal neurodegenerative disease in which a person's brain loses connection with the muscles, slowly taking away their ability to walk, talk, eat, and eventually breathe. Whereas every 90 minutes, someone is diagnosed with ALS and someone passes away from ALS. On an average, patients diagnosed with ALS only survive 2 to 5 years from the time of the diagnosis, and ALS has no cure. Whereas people who have served in the military are more likely to develop ALS and die from the disease than those with no history of military service. Whereas securing access to new therapies, durable medical equipment, and communication technologies is of vital importance to people living with ALS. And clinical trials play a pivotal role in evaluating new treatments, enhancing quality of life, and fostering assistive technologies for those living with ALS. Whereas we celebrate the 10th anniversary of the ICE Bucket Challenge through a renewed commitment to galvanize public awareness and support funding, leading to the significant investment in ALS research. Whereas the ALS Association, as the largest philanthropic funder of ALS research globally, has committed over $154 billion to support more than 550 projects across the United States and 18 countries. Whereas our commitment to accelerating the pace of discovery remains unwavering, fueled by the hope that one day ALS will be a livable disease for everyone, everywhere, until we can cure it. And whereas ALS Awareness Month increases the public awareness of people with ALS dire circumstances and acknowledges the terrible impact of this disease has not only on the person but only in his or her family and the community, and recognizes the research being done to eradicate this disease. Now, therefore, I, Vivian Sanchez Jones, on behalf of Sherman P. Lee Sr., Mayor of the City of Roanoke, Virginia, call upon all Americans to join in supporting ALS research, advocating for increased funding, and standing in solidarity with those affected by this relentless disease, and do hereby recognize the month of May throughout this great, 7, almost A, all-American city as ALS Awareness Month. Mark?
Thank you. Yes.
Okay. Mark has a few words to say.
You covered ALS and what's going on with the ALS Association so well. This is very much a disease of individuals, but it's much more than that. It's a devastating family challenge. I have the privilege to represent the ALS family before you because I have a rare form of ALS, which is slower morphing. I can still walk and speak without assistance. Since I intelligently gave up driving, the Parks and Rec Department, go ahead. Greenways are my safe pedestrian highway. Thank you to our amazing Parks and Rec team, and also to all of the people who were here earlier. I last came before you to advocate for expanding our street disability parking. Roanoke changed, expanded, and improved it out in front of our Commonwealth. Let's make Roanoke the statewide progressive leader in ADA accessibility. While ALS has taken many active activities from my life, it has also given me a gift, the gift of advocacy. I have a number of friends who are wheelchair bound. This is for Anna, who's paraplegic, for Kenny, who has MS, for Catherine, who has spina bifida. And I want to thank all of you, because I know so many of you so well, for standing up for this opportunity to give a shout out for ALS. And thank you to all of our people who work for the city who create accessible spaces for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark.
Well, thank you, Mark. Mark, I'm sure I'll speak for our entire council, and they'll have a word if they want to share with you, but want to wish you the best as you go forward with ALS. I've had a family member who had that disease, and so I want to wish you, as you go forward, the best, and Godspeed.
Mayor, I would like Mark to share how he wrote these notes.
Well, I thought about it for a few days, and then I stuck the pen in my mouth and gently and carefully printed it out. So it's as much about being adaptive as it is about having a disease. And I don't feel like I'm disabled. I'm adaptive. Thank
Amen
you.
for that. Come on, let's go over here so they're facing.
Any pictures?
So I'll tell you all a real quick funny story. So we had our board meeting last week, and we get to the very end, and they always do voice votes on things with me in mind. At the very end, he says, well, we're going to do everybody raise their hands if they're in favor. 3 people were in favor, 3 people were against. All eyes turned to me. So what do you want me to do? Because my hands are for decoration. It's a pleasure. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you.
One, two, three. Right there. We got it. It's all about the dog.
I think you should get Ms. Sanchez-Jones to do the ice bucket challenge.
It's the executive drowning water hoses or something.
Thank you.
Reagan, let's go. Walk on. Walk on.
I'm hanging out with these ones.
Thank you, Councilwoman Sanchez-Jones. All right, the next item on the agenda is hearing of citizens upon public matters. City Council sets this time as a priority for citizens to be heard. All matters will be referred to the city manager for response, recommendation, or report to council as he may deem appropriate. And Madam Clerk, are there any citizens signed up?
Yes, we have 2, and the first speaker is Liza Vance, and the second speaker is Anthony Peterson.
Hello,
Hello.
my name's Liza, and thank you, Mayor Lee and City Council, for your dedication to the city and helping things go well. I moved to Roanoke a year and a half ago, and I live in Southwest about a year and a half, and I fell in love with this precious Southwest Virginia mountain town. And on January 27th this year, my heart broke into a million pieces. I went downtown to play music, and I saw an attack on our city, and I've never seen a protest before, and I've never seen what I saw that day. But there were people marching through the streets and screaming very loudly. They gathered down at the market square where local farmers and artists were trying to sell their goods. And it was a very difficult situation to see the kind of the aggression, the spirit of unrest that was brought to our city. I saw an injustice that day that was more than I've ever seen in my life, and I care deeply about this city, and it was very upsetting. And Virginia's motto is "Thus always to tyrants," and we used to fear a faraway government, the great British Empire that was the tyrannical government. We used to fear that, and the weapons of war are different these days, and we don't have British redcoats to fear, and we gained our independence because our great-great-great-grandfathers and grandmothers who stayed home sewing uniforms and taking care of the families, and our great-great-great-grandfathers who fought for us and who wrote our Constitution. The God that they were with fleeing the Church of England was too oppressive for them, so they wanted to come to America and have a place where they could worship the God, that Jesus, the God that we are also cousins with Israel, and we're cousins with Ishmael. So we have a history, and the protesters, they ask us for, on that day on the streets, they say they want peace in the Middle East, but they say that in their words, but that day in their actions, they brought a spirit of chaos and confusion and unrest to this town, and there was an injustice served on the citizens and on the farmers. And if even one farmer or one artist was bothered by their energy, then they brought some negative vibes to our town that I wasn't comfortable with. And I've seen many strange people since I told these protesters that there was no war here. And it's been a long couple of months, but I've gotten through it, and thanks to the men and women who answer the 911 calls and the safety departments, the sheriff's department and the police department and the EMT and the firefighters, those are the most important departments that we have. If we don't have safety, we don't have a town. Doctors hide behind white coats, and they make much more money than these people, and it's an injustice because the bravest people are out there on the streets. They show up, police officers show up with weapons, prepared to fight for our safety, and then in doing that, they risk their own life, and they also risk making decisions in very difficult times that they have to be held accountable for in court. That's a multi-sacrificial job. I don't know any other one like it, and they're keeping us safe. The weapons are different today. Some of the enemy lives inside of our town. We can't always recognize the enemy. It's not as obvious as the way battles used to be with different uniformed colors and different. So now we're in a different kind of world, and we're in a dangerous world, and I would ask City Council and ask all of y'all to honor and really know that as a citizen of this town, my safety, I'm safe and alive and well because of the men and women who choose to make their profession to keep us safe. And in honor of that, you know, should they be overstaffed? Should they be overpaid? Should they not have to worry about things because their job is already so difficult as it is, and they're already doing so much for us? So I would just ask to keep them in your prayers and in your thoughts for how you handle the city's budgets and how you handle all of those financial and things that make their life good as they keep us safe.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was the last speaker.
Anthony Peterson.
Oh, sorry, you're right, Anthony Peterson. All right.
Hello, and thank you for allowing me to speak. Before I start, I want to get an understanding of the process. Some months ago, the Commonwealth had an education hearing in which a small panel of speakers came from Richmond, and they allowed me to email me my further concerns I had that were unable to fit within a 3-minute time session, and I wanted to know if I could take some excerpts from that and forward that email and reference my speaking here today. Is that possible? Okay, and who would I send it to, or how would I send it?
You can send it to city clerk. Just send it to clerk.
Okay, you want me to just get it after I speak?
Yes, that's fine.
All right, okay. All right. Someone started my time.
Yeah.
You have 5 minutes.
Oh, I have 5 minutes? Yeah. Okay. Well, I have some bullet points here, and this is regarding the Board of Trustees candidates. I didn't get to see all of the candidates speak and didn't have an opportunity to get all the details of their qualifications. But I know one of them was a pastor, and he referenced some team work program. Another one had some administrative experience, I believe, from one of the colleges or university. Another one was a community rep, and one was a parent. But all of them were stumped by the question that was asked by the council members, and that was how to get parents involved. I raised 3 kids, and I understand what the challenges are with that. And also, what wasn't addressed is possibly using the current test scores of students early on as a means of determining what students should get tutoring. One of the questions that wasn't answered, and I know you have a meeting tonight, and those candidates will, I believe, be here. And I hope one question is, what is the purpose of education? No one asked that question. I mean, the core purpose of the Department of Education is to educate students. But what is the purpose of education? I want to be able to come back and answer that question, but I want to hear the candidates answer that question. Another member asked about grant proposals experience. You know, probably the suitable response by those candidates would be, well, I have some experience, don't have any experience, but typically grant writers are hired 3 to 6 months to assist with the grant process. Okay. I'm trying to get all these bullet points here. Guidance counselor. Oh, guidance counselors, they can play a role in providing supportive services or tutoring service for students. There's also the possibility of maybe using online tutoring or weekend tutoring. In fact, one of my sons here, Cordell, who graduated, and he's in college now, and his field of expertise is cybersecurity. And another son, Anthony, he went to the Army, and he's out now, and he's trying to settle in, and hopefully he'll finish his flying lessons. But the point I wanted to really emphasize is ask the candidates is get an idea of what the candidates' understanding of what their role is and what their role is in education. So hopefully tonight I get to see it online, because I'll be out of the city, and maybe those candidates can answer those questions. And I think I made it with 40 seconds to spare. All right, that's it.
Thank you. All right. Thank you. All right, that concludes the hearing of citizens upon public matters. The next item on our agenda is the consent agenda. All matters listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the members of City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussions of the items. If discussion is desired, the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. I want to call your attention to a request for a closed meeting from the mayor's office to discuss the 3 upcoming vacancies on Roanoke City School Board, on the Roanoke City School Board expiring June 30th, 2024. I need a motion on that.
So moved.
Second.
Mayor Lee,
Yeah.
could I pull out item C3 to make some brief remarks?
Pardon me?
Could I pull out item C3 to make some brief remarks?
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Let me
Let's
finish
vote
this
on
and
the
we'll
closed
come
meeting.
back to item C3, where Mr. Pretty wants to have some remarks. All right, you get the second, Madam Clerk?
Yes.
All right, can you call the roll on that closed meeting?
Yeah. You still need to include your walk-on.
Pardon me? I haven't done all, I'm doing one at a time.
Okay, usually, okay.
Okay.
Oh, it's no
First, we're doing a closed meeting,
I'll
on school board
second.
vacancies. We've got a motion, got a second for that.
Okay,
Call the roll.
all right. Mr. Volleson?
Aye.
Ms. Moon Reynolds?
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Pretty?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Cobb?
Aye.
Ms. White Boyd?
Aye.
And Mayor Lee?
Aye. Now we got a closed session, a walk-on closed session, which is brought forth by Councilmember Patricia White Boyd, Chairman of the City Council Personnel Committee, requesting that council convene a closed meeting to discuss a personnel matter pursuant to Section 2.2-3711 Code of Virginia. All right, can I get a motion on that?
So moved.
All right.
Second.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
All right. Mr. Volleson?
Aye.
Ms. Moon Reynolds?
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Pretty?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Cobb?
Aye.
Ms. White Boyd?
Aye.
Mayor Lee?
Aye. And the motion is approved. All right, right now we will ask, item C3 has been pulled for discussion and communication from Councilmember Pretty.
Thank you, Mayor Lee. I'll go ahead and make my remarks now before any motions are made. I just wanted to make some brief remarks before this is voted on today. Mayor Lee, Vice Mayor Cobb, and fellow members of council, although my time on council has been brief, it has been an incredible honor to serve. First and foremost, I extend my heartfelt thanks to the people of Roanoke. Your voices have informed my decisions and guided my actions, and for that, I am truly grateful. To my colleagues on this dais, while at times we may have found ourselves at odds, I have always respected the dedication and commitment each of you brings to our city. Even when we disagreed, it has been clear to me that each and every one of you has the best interest of our community at heart. I'd like to extend thanks to every department in the city working to make Roanoke a better place, with special attention to parks and recreation. My journey in local government began and grew there, fostered by a grand and optimistic vision that gave me hope for what I could accomplish through public service. As I prepare to step down, I do so with full confidence in this council and the knowledge that our city is in capable hands. Growth in this city has been at times uncomfortable, but I truly believe Roanoke is on the cusp of something wonderful. While this marks a new chapter as I pursue my passion for legislative work and public service, I will always carry with me the lessons and experiences gained here. With that, I humbly request that you accept my resignation effective June 30th. Thank you.
All right, do we need to do anything on that?
If you could, just since it's been separated, let's vote on that item, and then we'll get to the remainder of the consent agenda.
All right.
So this is item C3, which is a communication from Councilmember Luke W. Pretty, tendering his resignation as a member of Roanoke City Council effective June 30th, 2024.
All right, is there a motion on that?
So moved. Second.
All right, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Right. Mr. Volleson?
Aye.
Ms. Moon Reynolds?
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Pretty?
Abstain.
Of course. Vice Mayor Cobb?
Aye.
Ms. White Boyd?
Aye.
And Mayor Lee?
Aye. And the resignation was accepted and received by council. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anything else to be?
Remainder of the consent agenda.
Okay. All right. That's all we have on the consent agenda.
We have reports of qualifications of
When
members
all of that came up, the consent agenda.
and the minutes.
So we moved the consent agenda.
Okay.
Yeah, it
Okay.
was done when I was asking about, I know what you're saying.
Okay.
That's where the
You're
confusion
right.
came in.
Yep.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
All right, so where are we moving on the entire consent agenda?
Move the consent agenda. It's already been.
Second.
It's already
It
been
was
done.
done.
It was
Oh,
done,
Yeah,
yeah.
we did it. It was a little out of order, but it was done.
yeah.
No worries.
So is there a motion? You moved on?
Yes.
We done?
We did it
Okay.
earlier before your consent.
All right, the consent agenda has been approved. All right, the next item is public hearings. We have none. Petitions and communications, none. Reports of city officers and comments of city manager. City manager briefing. I call on the city manager to introduce the briefings.
Thank you,
that we
Mayor.
have
Council,
for the
there is one briefing, which is our monthly briefing on the budget update. This is, of course, for April, and Andrea is going to present this information.
All right.
Good afternoon, Mayor, members of council. I am here with our monthly report through April. We are on the home stretch. We are 10 months with this reporting through the fiscal year. Let me get us to a summary of our revenues. Probably the most notable item on this slide is really what we see for our personal property tax. While it looks awfully low, the due date for our property tax is May the 31st, so we have not yet received the biggest bulk of dollars that we are looking for there. So all in all, if we look at our revenue summary for local taxes, we're in pretty good shape and just waiting on the end of May. We don't want to rush time, but waiting on the end of May to get through our personal property tax deadline. I'll slide to the next slide where we're looking at our non-local taxes. We have a lot here. If we look at probably some outliers, if we look at permits, fees, and license, primarily the overage that we're seeing here is a reflection of building inspection fees, which have done extremely well this year. So slightly over, I say more than slightly over our percent of budget, and we still have a couple of months to go on that particular one. Everything else of note, it looks a little funny if you look at grants and aid, federal government. These dollars are actually transferred to a grant fund, so it looks like they haven't been received here. We anticipate those dollars, but they will actually be transitioned into a grant fund. So the revenue reflection on that one looks a little bit odd. Other than that, probably the high numbers where you see non-operating is really capital program transfers. So it looks a little bit out of sync, but all related to capital projects there. If I scoot to expenditures, we're right in line with where we should be at 10 months through the year. The biggest thing that you'll see, the non-departmental looks high here, and that's really our transfers to the schools. Other than that, and it's right on track. It may look a little odd, but right on track if you look at the comparison from this year to last year. But that's the higher projection of revenues with the higher allocation to our schools. So again, everything in line with our expenditure summary. We still anticipate, based on our projections, having a strong year and having a fund balance that we will be able to allocate at the end of the year. So in good shape there. My report is easy this month. I'm hoping it will be as well for the next 2 months, and certainly entertain questions.
All right, any questions, members of council?
Mayor, excuse me, I did have one question, and it's on the revenue side with the prepared food and beverage. I know we budgeted for the 19,000. I always like to see my zeros to know which way I'm counting, hundreds, thousands. 19 million. And you only have 15.8 at this point, and you have 2 more months to go. Do you expect to reach that for the prepared food and beverage?
We're looking at, look at my
I'm
sheet.
on the revenue summary under the local taxes.
Local tax,
Yeah,
prepared food.
Yeah, where you have, the actual for year-to-date for FY '23 was 15.2. And the current budget is 19.
I'm not seeing any notes to indicate that our projections are off there, but I can certainly follow up.
Okay.
Everything looks to be, we're at 83.6. We would anticipate being about 83 with 10 months in. So we're right on target for where we should be budget-wise.
So you think you'll be able to reach that threshold of the
Yep.
19 by the end?
So there's
Okay.
nothing there that makes us nervous or makes
Okay.
us believe that we won't hit our mark
That you
there.
won't get to grab the 3, okay. I was just wondering about that one. That was it.
Was that it?
Yes, sir, that was it, thank you.
Okay. All right, there, no further
Thank you.
questions. Thank you. All right, now we now move to items recommended for action. Item 10A is approval of the 2024 annual plan update to the 2024 HUD Consolidated Plan. There's a resolution.
Move the resolution.
Second.
All right, Madam Clerk, please read the title paragraph.
A resolution approving the City of Roanoke's 2024 HUD Annual Plan Update to the 2020 through 2024 Consolidated Plan, authorizing the city manager or the city manager's designee to execute all necessary documents pertaining thereto, and further authorizing the city manager or the city manager's designee to submit such plan to the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development for final review and approval.
All right, any discussion among council? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Mr. Volleson?
Aye.
Ms. Moon Reynolds?
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Pretty?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Cobb?
Aye.
Ms. White Boyd?
Aye.
Mayor Lee?
Aye, and the resolution passes. Item 10B is the adoption of a resolution.
7, Mayor.
Pardon me?
7, unless they have it written wrong. 7.
I thought we just did 7, not,
Yeah,
9,
no,
8.
the clerk was just correct, and you're saying 10, but we're at number, item 7. We're
I
at
believe
7B
you said
now.
10B, it's 7B.
7B
Yes.
instead of
Yes.
10B, 7B.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, 7B, the adoption of a resolution for the City of Roanoke Main Street designation. There's a resolution.
Move the resolution.
Second.
All right, Madam Clerk, please read the title paragraph.
A resolution concurring with and approving the recommendations of the Departments of Economic Development and Planning, Building, and Development for the City of Roanoke to apply for and participate in the Virginia Main Street Program as an exploring Main Street community with the Virginia Department of Housing and Community Development.
All right, any discussion by members of council?
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Boone,
Thank you. I was looking at the background, which does not actually give me background on the report. It just makes a statement, and then I go over to the resolution, which actually is, should be the report. So I have a question for the manager. I'm reading under the resolution number 3, it says the adopted report identifies paths to revitalizing these small commercial districts, and it goes on to say including participation in and learning from the Virginia Main Street Network. And what I would like, if you could, to just explain what the report is on this Main Street designation, because I don't see anything that
Can I ask
reflects that. I just have this one report, this one paragraph that just says to be considered, but it doesn't give me any information on what's being considered.
Sorry, this is my first
Okay.
resolution application. So the reports that are referred to are the Gainsborough Plan and the Neighborhood Centers plans that were adopted by council last year. This resolution would help advance those plans.
Okay, I understand that, I guess because you were talking about exploring a Main Street program through the Virginia Department of Housing and Community Development. But again, it does not give detail enough. You're just making a statement here. And if I was to research this a month from now, it doesn't say anything here. That's what I'm saying. You didn't give enough information in the report. I don't know where the information came for the resolution, but the resolution gives me more details than what the report does, but it's referencing a report that does not reflect that, is where I'm going. And so for me, I'd be uncomfortable in voting on the resolution when I don't know what the report is actually saying, and I see the city attorney looking this way to answer.
I just want an opportunity to, if we could,
Yes.
couldn't it be really helpful to utilize your experience outside of this meeting to maybe help her?
Okay, I didn't know she
Since
was
this
new at
was
the
her
training.
first,
Okay.
this was her first, is that something that might be
That would work
helpful?
for me. I would have expected someone in the department to have done that with her, but yet I don't know.
I know, and I
Yes,
didn't,
you-
but I know your experience,
Yes,
and then I'm
no
just
problem.
wanting to use that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for bringing
All right,
it.
Vice Mayor?
This is her first one,
I'll
so
do
she's
that.
learning,
Yes,
and we want to work with her,
yes.
because she's doing good work
You're
for
doing
us.
good work. I understand that. Thank you. I'm sorry you was put on the spot.
That's okay. Any other questions? Or
Thank you.
Vice Mayor Carr.
Yeah, thank you. I just did want to note that in the resolution, the reports are mentioned here, so maybe including them as an attachment in the future would resolve this, because you do mention the Neighborhood Center's vision report, which we adopted, as well as the Gainsborough Community Hub Concept Plan, which we also adopted. So just as a point of reference, to include those, in the future would be helpful, but those have all of the aspects of what underlie this. So thank you for bringing this forward to us.
Wayne, you don't have anything to add, do you?
I think we're right on top of it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
What is your name again? I didn't get that.
Mandy Cribb.
Okay,
Mandy,
thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we ready to vote? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
All right, Mr. Volleson?
Aye.
Ms. Moon Reynolds?
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez Jones? Mr. Pretty?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Cobb?
Aye.
Ms. White Boyd?
Aye.
And Mayor Lee.
Aye. And the resolution passes. Item C is the acquisition of real property rights for stormwater drainage improvement project at 3600 block Peakwood Drive. There's an ordinance.
Move the
the
order.
ordinance.
Second.
Madam Clerk, please read the title paragraph.
An ordinance providing for the acquisition of real property rights needed by the city in connection with the 3600 block Peakwood Drive Drainage Improvements Project, authorizing city staff to acquire such property rights by negotiation for the city, authorizing the city manager to execute appropriate acquisition documents, and dispensing with the second reading of this ordinance by title.
All right, any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Volleson?
Aye.
Ms. Moon Reynolds?
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez Jones? Mr. Pretty?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Cobb?
Aye.
Ms. White Boyd?
Aye.
And Mayor Lee.
Aye, thank you, and the ordinance passes. Item D is acceptance of the FEMA Hazard Mitigation Grant Funds for acquisition, demolition, and site restoration of one flood-prone structure and adjacent vacant lot. There are two measures here. One is a resolution.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Madam Clerk, read the title paragraph for the resolution.
A resolution accepting the Hazard Mitigation Assistance Program grant made to the city from the Virginia Department of Emergency Management upon certain terms and conditions, and authorizing the city manager to execute any required documentation on behalf of the city in order to accept the grant.
All right, any discussion by members of council? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Volleson?
Aye.
Ms. Moon Reynolds?
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Pretty?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Cobb?
Aye.
Ms. White Boyd?
Aye.
And Mayor Lee.
Aye, and the resolution passes. There's a budget ordinance.
Move the budget ordinance.
Second.
Madam Clerk, read the title paragraph, please.
An ordinance to appropriate funding from the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, and the Virginia Department of Emergency Management to buy flood-prone property on 2346 Garden City Boulevard Southeast, amending and reordaining certain sections of the 2023-2024 Stormwater Fund appropriations, and dispensing with the second reading by title of this ordinance.
Thank you. Any discussion by members of council? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Volleson?
Aye.
Ms. Moon Reynolds?
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Pretty?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Cobb?
Aye.
Ms. White Boyd?
Aye.
And Mayor Lee.
Aye. And the budget ordinance passes. Comments of the city manager. Call on the city manager for any comments.
No comments, thank you.
All right. City attorney has none. Item number 8 is reports of committees. A report of the Roanoke City School Board requesting appropriation of funds for various educational programs. And a report of the city manager recommending that council concur in the request. Donna Caldwell is Director of Accounting, is the spokesperson. There's a budget ordinance.
Move the budget ordinance.
Second.
And Mayor,
Yes,
Ms.
sir.
Vivian, Councilmember Vivian Sanchez Jones has a statement to read.
All right.
I, Vivian Sanchez Jones, state that I have a personal interest in agenda item 8.1 regarding school board appropriation. Because I'm employed by the school board for the city of Roanoke. Therefore, in accordance with Virginia Code Section 2.2-3112, I would refrain from participation in this matter. I ask that the city clerk accept this statement and ask that it may be made part of the minutes for this meeting. Thank you.
I have a question on that.
Yes,
Not that I disagree, but
I
Ms.
understand.
Sanchez Jones been voting on this all year.
Yes, this is a result of the recent question dealing with the school funding, and we got a report back from them that on individual appropriations of just school funds, as well as on the funding formula, that she should refrain. So it is something new, and that's why we started to do this. Plus, if you might recall what's happened in the county with Martha Hooker and how that became public, we're trying to avoid that and keep us on the straight and narrow. Now, what's really interesting in one sense, at least to the lawyer, is the overall budget. If you remember, Ms. Sanchez Jones was able to vote for that, but that's because the schools were just a part of the overall budget. Here, since it's just school funds, that's why she's asked to refrain from participation. Does that help?
Yeah, somewhat, yeah. I think that's new,
It is new.
yeah. Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you, Mr. Spencer. Are there any other discussion by members of council? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Volleson?
Aye.
Ms. Moon Reynolds?
Aye.
Mr. Pretty?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Cobb?
Aye.
Ms. White Boyd?
Aye.
And Mayor Lee.
Before I vote, let me just ask one other question on it.
Sure.
When we're in discussion on those kinds of issues, can she participate in that?
There was no,
No, I'm saying that as we go forward.
as we go forward, yes,
Yeah.
she should refrain from participating.
Okay. All right,
When it's solely the schools,
okay. All right,
but when it's the budget, she can.
okay. All right, my vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Okay.
And the ordinance passes. Item number 2 is a report of certain authorities, boards, committees, and commissions in which city council serves as liaisons or appointees. Are there any comments by members of council?
Mayor Lee? Just brief, because this isn't an official report, but last week during our meeting, the General Assembly met and they voted on the budget and they have it passed. It'll be effective July 1st. And I just wanted to bring attention to one of the items that was in there that was included in our legislative program was including Roanoke and the Office of Safer Communities. Due to what Roanoke has been facing in the past. There are a few other localities that were receiving special extra attention from the Department of Criminal Justice Services. This will bring $2.5 million each year for the next 2 years to really help our police department, our schools, and have a holistic approach to address what's happening in our communities. And so it's a true victory to have for the city of Roanoke to be included.
Mr. Petty, I have a question.
Sure.
So is it 2.5 every year, or is it the 2.5 over the 2 years? Somebody asked me that yesterday, and I couldn't answer.
2.5 each year for the next 2 years is my understanding, but the budget is always a temporary document that only lasts for 2 years. So, and they could change it next year, but right now, we know that we have that appropriation coming up on July 1st.
Okay, yeah.
And it could potentially be more based on a division formulated in there based on population as well, but
But that's your understanding every year, not for the 2 years?
it should be until, yes.
You seem a little unsure, but we'll see.
That's the best I can do for now.
I know, thank you.
All right, any other questions?
Yeah, Mayor, the GRTC Board had our May meeting today, and just a couple of things to share with you all. We are continuing to make significant progress in the Finance Department and the corrective actions that have been mapped out. Metroflex continues to do well. There are some kinks that we're still trying to work out, but ridership continues to increase on Metroflex, with about 910 rides scheduled in April, which is up about 110 from March. Ridership for GRTC was 106,787 in March and 115,560 in April, continuing on about a 12% increase per month. We are looking at, a couple of years ago, we raised salaries for operators and mechanics and other administrative staff, but now we're looking at wage scale and ranges for Director of Finance and other directors to make those more equitable and aligned across localities and more competitive here locally. And Vice President Sanchez Jones and Karen Mikulski-Carney are a subcommittee that's going to work with Angie and administration of GRTC to bring back some recommendations to the board at our July meeting. And then our stakeholders meeting is June 17th at 1:30 here in council chambers prior to city council meeting at 2.
All right, thank you. Any other comments? Members of council? Ms. Sanchez Jones?
Well, I just want to say that we're celebrating EMS Week this week. If this is the
EMS?
Yes.
Okay.
So this year's theme is honoring our past and forging our future. And I just want to thank, all our EMS for their unwavering dedication and bravery in providing life-saving care to our communities. Your selflessness and commitment make a profound difference in the lives of those you serve. We are deeply grateful for your service and sacrifice. So let's thank our EMS.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Yeah, Ms.
Thank
Whiteboard.
you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, I just wanted to make an announcement that the Ride of Silence was canceled last week due to rain, but we have a new date. It's going to be tomorrow night at 6:30, and the meeting place is Cardinal Bike on Memorial Avenue. And so if you want to join us, what we're doing is paying homage to those cyclists who have been injured or killed while riding, and this is to pay homage for them. So please come out and ride with us tomorrow. It's going to be beautiful weather, and I want to just thank Mr. Roman and Angie and all of those who helped me pull this together relatively quickly, so I appreciate your efforts. Thank you.
What?
What comment?
Yeah.
Well,
I just wanted to draw everyone's attention to the Virginia Parks and Recreation Society's, their most recent article of their, I forget what it's called, I'm sorry, my brain's a little slow. But they did on the front page is Roanoke, and it's our Play Pride program that we have through our Parks and Recreation Department. And they go in depth as to how Roanoke has done an amazing job with the Play Pride program and how it seeks to increase participation and how it can be replicated throughout the state. So I think we should all be very proud of Play Pride and the Parks and Recreation Department for that initiative.
good. Thank you. All right. Good reports. Thank you all. All right, item number 9 is unfinished business. We have none. Item number 10 is an introduction and consideration of ordinances and resolutions. 10-1, is an adoption of a resolution directing the city attorney to petition the circuit court to issue an order confirming that the remaining members of city council for the city of Roanoke are authorized to appoint a qualified voter from the city at large within 45 days of the office becoming vacant to fill the council seat vacated by Luke W. Purdy for the remaining portion of his unexpired term through December 31st, 2024. There is a resolution.
Move. Second.
All right, Madam Clerk, please read the title paragraph.
A resolution directing the city attorney to petition the circuit court to issue an order confirming that the remaining members of city council for the city of Roanoke are authorized to appoint a qualified voter from the city at large within 45 days of the office becoming vacant to fill the council seat vacated by Luke W. Priddy for the remaining portion of his unexpired term through December 31st, 2024, as provided in Section 4, Charter of the City of Roanoke, and Virginia Code, Section 24.2-226.
All right, Luke, here's a chance to change your mind if you want to.
Too late now.
Okay. All right, any further discussion? Madam Clerk, call the roll.
All right, Mr. Volleson?
Aye.
Ms. Moon Reynolds?
Aye.
Ms. Sanchez Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Priddy?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Cobb?
Aye.
Ms. White Boyd?
Aye.
And Mayor Lee?
Aye, and the resolution passes. Thank you. All right, any motions or miscellaneous business? Inquiries by member council. Ms. Moon Reynolds.
Thank you. I was waiting till we got to this, to make this comment, and it is just to, in case the public is not aware, that Alpha Dial, a longtime resident of the city of Roanoke, passed away last Thursday. Ms. Dial was a longtime educator in the Roanoke City school system. She taught me in the second grade, and then she taught my children, my adult children now, in kindergarten at Round Hill. And I just wanted the public to hear that she had passed away. I believe Ms. Dow was 95 years old, if I got her age right. And that her impact reached far beyond the classroom, and that she continued to nurture many generations of students with her kindness. She was a soft-spoken woman, and she is related to actually our former council member and vice mayor, Wanda Butler. She was actually his sister-in-law. And she's related to the Sparrows as well as the Dials, which is Alfred Dial Sr. and Douglas Dial. She was their sister-in-law, and she was married to their brother Rufus Dial, who passed several years ago. So I just wanted to bring that out and to say our condolences to the family, and that when I do the invocation tonight, I would like to have a moment of silence in recognition of her, as well as Reverend Lee Pouchet, who died as well suddenly last Wednesday of a massive heart attack.
Thank you. Has those funerals been held?
Reverend Pouchet's funeral will be at Shiloh this upcoming Saturday. I don't know how, I don't have the time. Ms. Dials has not. I think there are family members that will have to travel, so she may be the following week.
Okay.
But if any council members are interested, I will keep you informed of that, if you would like to come to that service.
Well, please keep us advised of those people or funerals that they occur. Any other comments? Miscellaneous items? All right. 11.2 is vacancies on certain authorities, boards, and commissions. We have none. And with that being said, then council will stand in recess, and we'll reconvene at 7:00 p.m. here in the chamber. Thank you.